Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Monday Night Live Q&A chat with Raven, Silverseeker, Rob, and Keith of Coin Crew. Will Silver get to 30? Who knows? Everybody's speculating, but hey, let's start off tonight with this guy over here. Seeker,
What's
you got
up?
going on? What you got to say?
Not much. What's going on, guys? Glad to be here. Sorry it's been a while. I'm sure you guys know holidays were kind of tough for us, and I had some people asking why we've missed a few. And just keep in mind, it's not that, we all couldn't make it. It's just that if even just one of us can't make it, we usually just postpone. So sometimes it's hard, especially during the holidays, to get all four of us available at the same time. Just so you guys know.
Seeker, do you mean to have that blue outline on you this time?
Yes, that is on purpose.
He's all blue.
Yeah, that's not. No, my background is green. I'm just having fun.
I thought you were. I was like, I just want to make sure, though.
Yeah.
It's such a big difference. Just a green towel in the back when he turns it off. All right, we got Rob Finds Treasure, the man, the myth, the legend. What you got going on, Rob?
Just happy to be with you guys. It's been a little bit too long, but like Seeker said and Will said, we all have things going on. Matter of fact, Keith, if I recall, he had to run back from the fun show just to make sure he could make a stream at some point. And we just got a lot of stuff going on. We're all been busy, and but it's good to be here with you guys and chat with everyone in the community tonight.
It is, absolutely.
Right on. And then we have the man himself down below next to Rob, Coin Crew, the one and only Keith, aka just a fellow, just a guy. And
oh man. I'm tired, dudes.
I bet.
I'm definitely tired. I went down to Florida, stayed 2.5 days. I'm back. Met a lot of YouTube people, had fun, had trouble buying the coins. Some of them were there, some of them weren't, but the prices were a little bit overinflated above retail.
They're saying my audio's not good again.
Hey, Raven, I think you're going to have to turn off that overlay for the...
Yeah, I am. I caught it.
Keith, do they let you stream from the retirement home, or how's that work?
They do. I was real cautious in Florida, though. I didn't... the only live stream I did from inside the show was at Mike's table.
Gotcha.
Otherwise, I got very little footage. I did a video I put up today, some ultra rare currency. King set, as it's called. At least the owner calls it that. So that was pretty cool.
Gotcha.
But we did pretty much just live streams.
Hopefully my microphone sounds better now, guys. I don't know why it might have sounded weird, but if it sounds good,
better.
let me know.
It does sound better. I meant to say something before we went live, and I just forgot.
You sound like this guy I know, Rob, with that microphone.
All right, so anybody that's new to this, guys and ladies and gentlemen, make sure that if you have something you want to talk to us about, that you put a question in the chat. We will do our best to get to your questions and answer them the way that we can to the best of our knowledge. None of us up here are financial advisors, so you can take our advice with a grain of salt, but definitely make an informed decision and do your research as well. Guys, we got some pretty cool milestone things happening. Keith already cracked 10K. Seeker's really close to 100K. Rob's doing awesome like he always does. So a big shout out and kudos for everybody. I'm stoked for everybody. And man, I'm really excited.
You know what I'd like to do, and it's hard to tell people on this channel to subscribe to you because they already are. But I'd love to see Raven hit 10K.
That would be nice.
I appreciate it. We'll get there. Speaking of 10K, we got a huge, just like Seeker, both of us are doing insanely big giveaways for getting to these benchmarks, and Seeker's not that far away.
I still have to
be there next 3 or 4 days.
I still have to schedule my 10K goal. The chest is getting full.
Wait, but you're at 11. I don't understand.
Yeah, we're at 11 already. We might have it before we get to 12. We hope. We also hit 1 million views finally. So that's really cool.
That is cool.
I didn't think we would hit 1 million by year's end, but we did.
I see Hillbilly with those gifted members.
Hillbilly doesn't mess around with the
Uh-oh.
gift memberships.
You know what he told me last night on Saturday on my stream? He wants to gift 10,000 members this year.
Gift 10,000. Yeah, that's crazy to think about that.
That is absolutely crazy to think about.
You know, and that's the one thing I don't like about this one format that I have to use. It doesn't show me. So thank you, Hillbilly Samurai, for doing 10 memberships. There's been a couple shows where he's done like 40 or 50 at a time, and it's like, wow. It is.
I see him do that in all of our channels. He is so cool.
Yeah, so it's a nice thing to do. I've actually talked to him on the phone a couple times, and you know, he's trying his best to help out as much as he can, which is a really nice thing to do for people. And there's Miss Coin Crew in the nest, and let's see here. Are all of you planning on attending the Tulsa Coin Show at the end of June?
I will be.
I will be.
I will be. I have to. It's my brother.
Jeff Jones is a member, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Jeff, for joining in as well, getting that membership. And there's a good chance that I'll be there.
It'd be nice to have you there, Raven. But if not, you'll be there in spirit.
No,
I can do it. Who says that?
That is oh man, from
Bigelow.
Here's the question though. Like Raven's like, I'll probably be at the Tulsa show, but you don't hear Keith going, I'll probably go ahead and make that Norman show.
Yeah.
Dudes, I made the Norman show.
He's not my brother.
And I just went to Florida and I'm going to Tulsa. And they're all multi-hour trips. To make Norman 1 month apart from Tulsa, I don't mean to be dishing you, Raven, but I'm
going to throw you under
I told you could meet me halfway there, Keith, and I drive you the rest of the way.
I was going to throw you under the bus.
We can attach your wheelchair to the back of the car and just pull it along.
Just pull him along. But I was about to literally say that, hey, Seeker told you he would drive you out there.
But you still have the fact of having to close the shop and stuff. I can't leave my wife here all that time by herself.
You're making all that big guy money these days. You're okay.
No, we're not making all that big guy money. We are just like everybody else. We are making a paycheck. We're just working a little harder. That's all. I wish we were making the big guy money.
Keith,
you sound exhausted. Big guy money on YouTube unless you're a big guy on YouTube.
True.
What's that?
It's tough to make the big guy money on YouTube unless you're like those 1 million, 2 million, 5 million subscriber channels.
Oh, yeah. You have to have a lot of. I went down to that fun show, and it's like, if I just had a fraction of some of those guys' stuff, it's like, wow. Those guys at them big shows are like, I mean, I got a lot of stuff, don't get me wrong, but I don't have enough to retire on like these guys. They could shut their doors. The owner could just shut his doors and live the high life for the rest of his life. But he won't.
And anybody that's hearing us bust each other's chops has never seen this before. We do this even when we're in behind the scenes. It's all in good fun. So we're just happy to see everybody here, and the amount of support that we get from you guys is amazing. And like Rob said, you really do have to be somebody that's getting millions and millions of views to have that big guy money. I just like busting Keith's chops.
The only guy that really makes big guy money is PewDiePie and Mr. Beast. That's about it.
I was looking at the top 100 YouTubers. There's some, and even the 100th place YouTubers making the big bucks. I mean, honestly, you don't need that big of a channel. It just depends on the genre, and it depends on how consistent you are, and it depends on how engaged your audience is. But most of those guys don't make the money on the views. It's on the merch and all the other stuff. And
sponsorships.
And I do have a plug for myself. It's not about merch yet, but I do have a new RFT logo that I'm releasing by week's end. So everyone who likes the vintage tan and black RFT logo I've had for 5 years, it will be replaced by week's end with an updated, more hip, if you will, branded logo that I like, and that Shalani and I, along with help from a Fiverr person, created. So yeah.
You know what? Now you make me want to do a new logo for hitting 100K. Thanks, Rob. I appreciate it.
Well, I was supposed to do it at 100K, and I just been lollygagging, and then I'm like, you know what? My logo doesn't look that great on things. It looks good on my round. It looks good on some things, but it's not really. It's like the old Buccaneer logo or the old Oakland A's colors. Certain things just don't look good until you make them more modern to the newest trends. And I was like, it's time. So new logo coming out by week's end.
I've got like 10 of them in the pipe. I just haven't really done much with them. I've made some stickers here and there, but I've stayed with that Walking Liberty logo for quite a while. I think once we get to 10K, we'll change the icon for a while.
And I thought about that at 10K, and then I'm like, nah.
That's because you're just a guy. All right. JD Sharp says, has any of you sent a coin into Wexler for attribution of a new variety? And if so, how long did it take to get it back / find out? Seeker?
I've never sent a coin to Wexler, so I think that'd be more of a Rob question since he does more with theirs than I do.
Yeah, I've done it, and it was already discovered ahead of time, so I didn't get the variety attribution. It just hadn't been published yet. Like someone must have got it like weeks before I did. But typically what you do is you can go to Wexler's site and email him high quality pictures first, and he will let you know, or the people, the staff, whoever it is will let you know. Typically it's Wexler will let you know what the next steps are if they believe it's worth sending to them. And then I don't know after that, because like I said, I didn't get to that point. He had already told me that mine had already been identified previously and that it was going to be a listing.
Keith, have you ever sent anything to Wexler?
No, I just ran across them the other day. I heard of them, but I didn't really do much research. I was looking at some of the variation on the air. Some of them are minute. They're real hard to see, and I like the ones I can see better. I'm an old guy. I'd rather take a nap than strain my eyes.
Yeah, it's like, Keith, I'm similar. I don't get too excited about dye chips and the very hard to see. They're considered DDOs or DDRs, but they look like machine doubling anyway. I don't get excited about those. I like class 1, class 2 type doubling, or I like if it's going to be a dye chip, it's more like a die cut, or if it is a dye chip, it's a really nice looking one that adds some kind of mystique.
Add character. Yeah.
Like
my eyesight.
Like the leaky bucket. It's just a dye chip, but I like that it's called the leaky bucket, and I like that it's a big chip at the bottom of the bucket that looks like it's leaking water. That's a cool one. Little mini ones, no.
My eyes aren't as good as they used to be, so I like the airs, like you said. I like them to where I can see them with, a 5-power loop or less.
Yeah.
Anything more than that.
With the eye, it's even nicer. I totally agree. And, Selected Silver Sire said, let's talk about the fun show prices. And before I hand that over to Keith, I want to hit on that as well, because I've been to the Grapevine show recently with Rob, and we plan on going to one here in the near future. And then also my Mustang coin show. And I noticed that prices have jumped up quite a bit. Rob and I talked about that before. And
last show we're at.
Yeah, it was substantially a jump to where it made me actually spend less money, to be honest, because I was like, well, wow, this big of a price jump that fast, it was hard to justify some of those moves. But I still got some really nice stuff there. And what do you think, Rob? Well,
I was going to say this, and I love, it doesn't go well on my channel, but I think it'd be good for Silver Seeker maybe. What would $1,000 buy you at a coin show in 1980, 1990, 2010, and 20, and today? It might be, or what would 10,000 buy you? Because people who don't understand how much value either silver and gold and or numismatics has appreciated in the last 50 years might be something to understand. Because if you're a 25 or a 30-year-old collector today who plans on handing their collection over to your grandchildren or whoever when you are, I hate to say it, dead and gone at around 80, what would, based on the last 50 years, what would your coin collection be worth when you hand it over in 50 years from now? I mean, it might be a fun video to see. But anyway, yeah, Raven, you're absolutely right. Definitely the price. You and I were talking about it, and I bring a pretty stringent budget when I go to the coin shows. Raven's a little bit more deeper pocketed than I am for the coin shows, because normally he runs a coin show. He's not shopping. So when he gets to go to one as a patron, he gets to have fun and visit the tables and buy things for himself or whoever. But anyway, my money didn't go as far this time, and I didn't go to the Bank of Raven as I usually do until I came back. But I definitely noticed pretty quickly how much the prices had gone, maybe 10 or 15% on average.
Yeah.
Especially the toned collectible coins. I couldn't believe how much toned ASEs and toned Morgans and even toned old Spanish silver has gone up so much.
Yeah. It's pretty staggering in some ways. So Keith, what did you see at the fun show? Were you impressed by some of the deals, or was it just literally, wow, this is too much money?
Well, I seen an 1879S reverse 78 MS 6061, whatever it was. They said $1,200. I said, what's the best you can do? And they go $1,200, and I'm like, I'm looking it up, and he takes it over to his guy, the boss, seeing if he can do it any better. He's like, no, that's the best I can do. Bid's like $775. I'm like, dude, bid is $700. I said, thank you very much.
Wait, so bid is 700 and they want 12?
And they said bid was $775. I said, dude, bid is $700. Thank you very much.
All right, so even if bid were $775, they want 12?
Yes. They wanted 12.
Yeah,
and they had like 6 of them.
That's crazy. That's like a 50% rise.
It was like that all over, and the premiums are coming down. The coins are still hot.
Right, premiums on silver are coming down. Yeah, but I haven't. Yeah,
even the numismatic premiums had went up way up, but he sat there and said, "Oh, the premiums are hot right now. Everything's hot right now." I said, "It's not as hot as it was a month ago."
No, and yeah, the premiums on gold have come down. Even I agree.
The premiums are affecting the numismatics as well. You're not looking at that 20-30% overbid in right now.
Right.
But I had trouble buying. I bought a little bit of stuff off my brother Mike, and I bought some other stuff off a few other people. But yeah, it was tough. I spent less than half the money I took.
So Matt Poe asked about the new round on new logo, and I saw Rob answered him, but I just wanted to address that for anybody that might not have seen it. I think it's going to be awesome. I can't wait to get one of the new rounds when they come out so I can add to my Rob Finds Treasure collection.
Yeah, I will have to do that. Obviously, I'll have to create a whole new obverse die, a whole new reverse die for 2023, but I definitely will have the new ones sometime. I'm trying to get them by the Tulsa show, but if not, right after.
There you go. Wes Stefan said he bought a St. Gaudens MS64 on eBay from a big online dealer. The sample coin they show looks great. The one that they sent was ugly and dirty. Seems like a bit of a scam. And here's one of the things that you got to be careful about when you're buying from eBay is look and see on their description where it says you will get this actual coin versus some of them will say it's a sample photo. I've had some issues from time to time. Rob, what have you found? Have you run into that same issue?
If I'm buying an MS64 St. Gaudens or any certified graded coin, I would expect that it wouldn't be a sample, that the one that they're picturing, because it has a grade on it, is the one I'm buying. Mm-hmm. That being said, if I'm buying that much from a dealer, even if they're big online dealer, I would make sure that there is no fine print that says that this is stock footage. The MS64 you get could be anything. I would still make sure. So Raven, that's good advice. But that being said, it's very rare I see a graded certified coin that has a serial number pictured in the listing that is not the one I'm going to get. And that would probably be eligible for a refund because it isn't the one pictured, is how I would approach it if you're unhappy with it.
Yeah.
I did a short not long ago showing, I don't know if you guys saw it, 2 MS63 peace dollars. You see that one?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The cloudy one and the brilliant uncirculated one.
There was a brilliant uncirculated one, and there was one that literally looked like someone had dug it up after metal detecting.
Yeah, it was dipped in dirt or something.
Yeah,
it was so cloudy you couldn't even make out the details through the plastic.
Or I should say, I seen the holder of it. It was pretty dark.
I'll find it if Raven's okay with me.
Lucky Duck just made a comment about the Florida show. Of how the dealers down there had to overcharge because of the expensive table rate. That I do believe.
Well, how much was the table rate? Do you know?
No, but I know the last time I went, I paid like $800 or $650 or $850.
Wow,
For economy corner.
But here's the thing, And I know this for a fact because
Those
I've
10
heard
years.
some dealers, say, "Hey, I made 40 grand at the show, in sales." And it's kind of like if you're at a place where there's a huge audience and you're paying a premium for your table, it's not really cool to pass it on to everybody that buys from you. That's a cost that should be absorbed, in my opinion.
It should be.
Yeah, because I sell at some of my shows and I don't up the price because of, doing that, but I don't pay for my own table, but I'm still don't try to find a way to gouge. And that's kind of unfortunate. We got Chad Seeker. After this question, you can show off those two peace dollars if you'd like.
I'd have to go find them. I linked the short in chat if people want to see it.
Okay, that works too.
I think this is Coin Crew just said the table was 1,600.
1,600 per, yeah, 1,600 per. Well, so if you figure, like, all right, so let's say you're an out-of-town coin dealer and you're going to Florida. You have to pay for gas, you have to pay for lodging, you have to pay, to have your shop closed so you can be there, and you have to pay $1,600 per table. I mean, if you only sold 40, if you went to the fun show and only sold 40 grand, like, you have to make at least 25% to break even.
When I used to go to these big shows, it would cost me to set up, and I stopped going about 2015, 17, somewhere there. It would cost me $3,000 to $5,000 just to produce the show between lodging, fuel, and table fees and everything. It was just ungodly.
Right.
So I slowly stepped out of the circuit. I don't do that anymore. I'll go to visit, to meet people, have fun, but it's like we went to the show. We paid $600 for 2 nights at the Hilton. And believe me, B, when you're connected at a convention center, you're not connected. We had to walk a mile to get to the show.
If I'm going to go do a show, I'd rather do a smaller one like Ravens than I would do in the fun show. Like, I'll get a table. I'll be at Ravens show in May, but I didn't go to the fun show. I had no interest. So
yeah, because that's a big nut to crack at a big show. That really is. So Chad Cox says, "Hello guys, I got a difficult decision to make as of recently. I got a pretty high-end Morgan set, not fully complete, but how should I go about selling my collection as a whole or part it out?" Let's have Keith answer this one, what he would do, and then each one of us can add our little bit if Keith doesn't cover every point.
I said one word. I just said part.
That
pretty well covers it. Part.
Yeah.
You will get more parting it out, piecing it out, because each coin, as they were talking about earlier, has its own appeal, and therefore a listing on to sell a coin should not be a stock photo if it's a numismatic coin.
Mm-hmm.
And each one of those coins will have their own appeal and look, and one may create a higher premium because of a scarcity by grade.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas another one is more expensive, but the scarcity by grade is not as high. Therefore, it won't command the big premium like another one will.
Yeah.
It's like the best example of partner set out is the Lincoln cent collection from 1909 to 58. You can take 4 or 5 coins out of there and get more than you can for the entire set.
That's what I was just going to say. What you'll end up doing if you sell it as a whole set is you'll get someone to pay you for the key dates, and they'll consider the other stuff freebies.
Yeah,
that's exactly how a lot of dealers do it. Because if they make a mistake on the key coins, what if it's a raw set, it could cost the whole set.
Yeah, and those
certified, that's a whole different ballgame. They'll give you a flat rate for all the rest of the stuff.
All valid points. That's definitely for sure. And bottom line, you're going to make the most by parting it out. What do you think, Rob? Do you have anything to add?
I mean, everyone is absolutely right. You'll always make more parting it out no matter what. And the higher, let's just say you have a near complete, maybe it's missing a couple of the 93s or something, but let's just say you have it. At the end of the day, there's only a finite number of people that can afford your asking price for the entire set. And so you have to hope that they're A, present and accounted for when you're offering it up, and B, you're just limiting your number of buyers that might need 1 or 2 Morgans in your set to fill their hole, and now they're not bidding high on that coin. So the last thing I'll add is, if you are parting it out, it also depends on how you're doing it, because if you're shipping and paying fees on every single one of them, that that does add up in a hurry as well. But parting out is always the way to go versus selling as a collection.
Mm-hmm. Well said, gentlemen. Let's see here. A couple months ago, I got $20 face junk silver halves, 90%, and they are all dipped. Does that matter when just selling as junk?
Nope.
No. And the reason you have junk silver is, God forbid, there's an economic collapse and you want to have stuff to be able to trade with. People are just going to be concerned with the silver weight because junk silver, like that's been really well circulated, has little to no numismatic value. It's literally sold strictly just for its silver weight.
You're looking for the meat.
I don't want to go back to what we were just talking about, but Michael Kittle made a post. He said, dealers like to buy collections. Collectors don't. Collectors like to build their own sets. And the reason I want to point that out is because that's specifically why I said you don't want to sell it as a set. Because the reason dealers like to buy collections is because they'll buy those key date coins and consider all that other stuff a bonus.
Yep. So, I see it all the time. All the time. Let's see here. Trying to find...
I was going to say something. Oh, about cleaning. Yeah. So one thing I'll tell you, I talk about not cleaning your coins all the time. Don't. But as far as 90% concerned, if it's definitely not a numismatic coin and it's just 90% junk silver, it's specifically junk, dude. Like get a big tub, fill it with hot water and lemon ammonia, and put it in there and rinse it around. You'll see the lemon ammonia turn bright green, and you pour that out, and dude, they look 1,000 times better.
And I'm the same way, Secret. And I've only made one how to clean a coin video in the history because I don't believe in that. But the one I made was on a junk silver regular Washington quarter, just to take one that was so gunky and tarry and ugly and show you what a cleaner would do to it if you were to clean it so that it looks nice in your stack.
Right.
That's it. Yeah.
But it cannot have any numismatic value at all. None. If it has any numismatic value at all, don't do it. Don't.
Right.
Please don't.
There is one thing I want to add to the cleaning of 90%.
Go
No, it doesn't really make a difference. But however, it would make a difference if you clean junk 90% with a Brillo pad.
Oh,
It's truly junk. I mean, people literally erase them and scrape them. If you start scraping them, then it doesn't even have the 90% premium. It's just the silver, period. It will create a lower value.
That's why I said hot water and lemon ammonia. Definitely not a Brillo.
Nobody was saying anything about scratching it.
Well, no,
Right.
no,
I had to throw that out there.
Keith's right, because I have bought ASEs that have been scratched up so badly from a bad cleaning for actual generic silver price. And I mean, they're ASEs, but they're so bad that they just want to move them.
Some of that stuff, if it's too scratch, I'll just melt it.
That's what I did to those ASEs. I bought a whole bunch at regular price, and I just melted them.
Mm-hmm.
Which is all great advice, guys. That is awesome. And Miss Silver Stacking Smith says, how long have you guys been stacking and what made you guys want to stack? Seeker?
I'll start. Yeah. My whole life and my father. Yeah. I mean, it's that simple. I did a whole video on this. It was years ago, but it was my dad that got me into this. My dad is the reason I still love it today. So my whole life and him.
Mr. Rob.
Oh, sorry. I was just reading the thing. But because Michael Kittle made the best point of all, don't clean anything. Technically don't clean anything. But especially because you never know what next year's treasure is. Because eventually those 90% coins, common as they can be, will be worth something to somebody when there's not much left to be able to move around. But either way, what was the question again? Sorry, I was reading that.
What got us into stacking and how long?
For those that have followed me for years, they know I got a Buffalo nickel when I was buying a comic book and some gum when I was a kid, and I got a Buffalo nickel and change, and I thought I won the lottery as a kid, and I ended up finding it was only worth like $1, but it was still cool to me that there was something that old that I was giving back, and it got me interested in coin designs.
Nice. Coin Crew, Mr. Keith?
I'm too old to remember. No, but seriously, I really don't remember. I remember starting when I was 8, but the actual stacking aspect, I don't think I really got into that until past 5-10 years.
So
it's always been collecting for me.
So let me ask you a question. When you were 8, like they didn't invent magnifying glasses yet. So like, how'd you look for errors?
I didn't. I didn't. No, I was.
They had to be
the
them,
first coin I
them
remember,
class
I did
one
really-
errors.
Well, you
I wish-
couldn't stack at night for sure. I mean, it's hard to do by candlelight. You
I
know,
probably started somewhere around 2015 or something when we had that dip. And because I've always been buying and selling silver, but I never really stacked for my personal well-being. I just always considered the store to be my stock. But
right?
since then, I've started stacking. Oh Lord, if I stack, I need to slow down. I got to slow down. I never have no money.
I hear you.
You know, I didn't start looking for varieties until the Minnesota or the Wisconsin state quarter came out, and it was released from the mint with that with the high and low leaf. And when that came out, that was like that was a really hot thing. And then the next year, the speared bison came out, and so those got me back a little bit back into coins after taking a 20-year break. Those got me back into it for a little bit, and I was checking my pocket change, and then I realized I don't have time for this. I was working 2 jobs, and I was like, I just get it back to work. But anyway, yeah, I got into variety. I didn't get in varieties until the early 2000s at all.
Yeah. I started coin collecting as a young man, and my dad got me into it. But what really solidified it was when I was going through the dealer bucket and found some good stuff. And I think this dealer actually planted it in there to see, that I'd find some stuff. And then when I was walking away, he flipped me a really nice Indian head cent. And, when I went home and looked in my book at how much it was worth, my little math brain said, bing, I want to do this the rest of my life, Let's see here. Michael Kittle had a comment here, and I'm surprised that Long Beach is less expensive, but he said he's towards the back of the room. So, the premium tables up front are more money. At most coin shows, the dealers that are sitting right at the front of the door, they're paying a little bit more than everybody else behind them. And I'm surprised Long Beach is an expensive show, even if you're a coin collector. It was like $20 a head to go to that show.
And by the way, I like the new U.S. commemorative $50 Illinois 1918 Abe Lincoln picture that Michael Kittle has as his logo now.
Heck yeah, that's a nice one.
Florida really didn't surprise me with the prices of the coins at the shows, the table fees and everything. I mean, because Florida in general, we were going through Florida and we were seeing prices on everything. It was just $3.50 for gas, $3.35, not too bad. But then you're talking a bottle of pop, $3 for a small bottle of pop. Just anything you wanted, everything was higher.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's
all the way through.
Captive audience prices,
Mm-hmm.
And here,
Georgia gas dumps 30 cents and everything starts going down.
And one of the things that Seeker pointed out, some of the benefits of shows that aren't as big as 1,000 dealers and whatnot is you don't get hit with $3 sodas. You're normally like $1. You're getting something reasonable. And the dealers aren't having to be as stressed out to make their money back. When you put it all together, like what Seeker had said, you're really looking at some insane, amount of money to break even just before your break even point. It's just wow. And sometimes people don't understand that until you actually break it down and add every piece of the what they call the variable cost, your food, any type of giveaway you might do or donation that you help for a show, it all adds up. Let's see here. There was that question by Metal Dragon Braveheart about the Drummer Boy error right here. Has anybody heard about anything like that? Because it could be a new find. I haven't heard anything.
No. That's one I've been looking for forever. It's actually not just his hand; it's actually the stars to the flag as well. And you'll see a clashing above "In God We Trust" right to the side of George Washington's profile. I guess for you guys it'd be this way. And on the reverse, you can see clashing by the Drummer Boy. It's under Mad Die Clashes, MADDIE clashes.com. It's one of the most valuable die clashes, because it's on a bicentennial quarter, one of the highly collectible quarters of all time that's not silver. And it's a really nice die clash. I have searched everywhere for one. I have yet to find it. It's on my bucket list.
There we go. Rob or Keith, you know anything?
I mean,
Actually,
I'm always in for more of those.
I'm
so
daydreaming.
Daydream. Yote fan said most of us enjoy the mystery box challenges. Can we expect more?
That's what I said. I was always in for more of. I'm sorry.
That's what I was daydreaming about. That
there-
and a comment from Cosmic Creation asking me if I'm going back to the fun show next year.
Let's
Not
see here.
happening. Too long for too little satisfaction of the coins, but the people were great. But we
should do a monthly one. We should do a monthly one, and we've agreed as well. I don't know if it's been said, but that we're just going to have a complete way of not having anyone know it's us at all. Like I'll have to just have a friend or a neighbor buy it, and so it's not me.
Right.
Yeah. We got to find ways to keep anonymous because that seems to make a big difference.
I met Lucky Duck down in Florida, and he said he didn't recognize anybody's PO but Rob's, and he didn't even realize we were doing a challenge until he all of a sudden got a bunch of orders that week. He freaked out, and then he'd seen our videos and seen what was going on.
Well, and like I said in my video, I had the print screens. I told him he didn't offer to send me extra stuff. I said, just make sure you don't send me anything extra.
He said you said that too.
Yeah.
I got like 3 comments on that video of people accusing us of like being paid to do that for them.
Sponsors, yeah. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I'm a little guy. I'd love a sponsorship.
I have no sponsorships.
I have turned down every single sponsorship I've ever been offered so far on my channel, and it's just because I haven't found the right fit for me to say I'm going to sponsor this. It's not because it's not like I'm not against sponsorships. Sponsorships are smart, especially if it's relatable to your community and it gets a good deal to your coin family. Like it's a pluggable microscope. I mean, a lot of people use my Amazon link. If they were to give me a discount for everyone who watches my channel, I would definitely do that because that would be good for the community.
Yep, I agree. And it's all about integrity, honesty, transparency.
Yep.
You're just throwing that out there, aren't you, Rob?
I
would definitely do that.
No, he's right. I've turned down. I mean, I get people asking me to do sponsorships for mobile games. Yep. I had Moxfield reach out to me because I've talked about Magic on the channel before. Like, it's just like that doesn't fit my channel. So no, I'm not interested. But when SD Bullion reached out, like that fits my channel 100%. And I use SD Bullion. So like,
that's
finally.
That's a smart sponsorship.
That's the one I was looking for.
I had someone reach out to me for like the studio lights and stuff. And I'm thinking, no.
I've had people send me microscopes and
how to use the ones I got.
Like I've reviewed microscopes on the channel before, but that wasn't a sponsorship. That was just like, hey, if I send you this microscope, will you review it? And I reviewed it honestly, but like they didn't pay me anything. They just sent me the microscope, right?
Well, yeah, and at my 50 and 75K giveaway, I gave away 5 different metal detectors on those, and it's because they said, "Hey, if you want to sponsor," I'm like, "No, I'll tell you what. How about you just give me some metal detectors to give away, and I'll give them to my community, and I'll do that, but I'll share your link in the description." So I've done those types of things, but again, they have to fit my channel.
Right, exactly. It has to fit the channel.
Yeah. So Maddie says, do you guys think the new government lawsuit, will you think other companies take notice of how they represent their ads? Yeah.
I doubt it because here's the thing. I insanely doubt that that's actually going to go anywhere that matters.
I don't know. I've seen some people already get hit pretty hard. So I
like,
kind of have to disagree with you on this one.
That's not the first class action lawsuit against government. I found that out after I made the video about that. And the other ones went nowhere and government changed nothing. So it's, here's a really good point I'll make. And it's not necessarily with government, but I do videos where I call coin shops and I find out what they're selling certain things for, what they're buying certain things for. And I get comments from people all the time mad at me. Like some people literally angry, I have to delete their comment because I don't reveal the names of the shops. And, my best argument for that is, it's much more important to educate the consumer and then let the market decide than it is to call out one coin store that might be taking advantage of people because there's just going to be 10 more that pop up, right? So my goal when I do those videos isn't to call out shops, which is why I use voice changers, which is why I bleep out their name and the name of the shop. I don't even say what state I'm calling anymore. And the point is to show people what to look for and what not to look for in a good shop. And from there, the market can do what the market's going to do, right? But calling out one individual shop on top of the fact that it would open me up to possible harassment lawsuits if I have some viewers that get, gung-ho about harassing them or their shop, or, they go too far because of a video I made. But additionally, it's just more important, I think, to educate the person. So
you're educating them on what to do when you're planning on selling or buying gold and silver versus a call out of shady shops. That's not the intention. It's educating your community on how to buy and sell gold and silver.
Right.
Yeah.
David G has a question. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Richard Sappington, does the old technique still work? Wait till the end of the show is approaching so you can get some deals, or is that old strategy no longer valid? Rob, you want to tackle that one?
I mean, you got to be careful. If you go there with a specific list in mind and a budget for what you believe you're going to pay as an acceptable price for the condition and the coins you're looking for, you might quickly run around to the tables early on the first day and see who's got the best deal and probably pick it up. But if you're going there just to buy some junk silver in bulk, maybe at the end you could probably talk somebody who's got a whole bunch of heavy mercury dimes into a slightly better deal than their first day price. I mean, I don't know. Keith has more experience setting up a table and selling, but I would think that if you're going there for specifics, you probably want to get there early so they don't sell out. But if you're going there just to increase your stack, you probably can wait towards the end and take a little better deal on something someone doesn't want to pack up and bring back with them.
Yeah. Real quick, I got a $5 super chat from the one and only J Dog. Says a fab for Ravenhawk, Silver Seeker, Rob, and Coin Crew. Thank you very much for that, J Dog.
J Dog's the man, by the way.
Thank you, J Dog.
Yeah. I was going to say a couple of years ago, right before everything spiked, like not just like silver premiums, but like coin prices. I was at the St. Louis show, the July show, and I was looking for like slabbed, like common date Morgans and peace dollars, things like that, MS-63s. And I had a guy who had a bunch of them. He had like 60 of them, and I had picked up like 5 or 6. I just kind of cherry picked them, and he had a certain price on them. Well, the final day of the show, I was just walking around, and I went up to him and I started to look through him again just to make sure I didn't miss anything. And he goes, "Hey, dude, I'm getting ready to pack up. I don't want to take him with me." And he offered me like $6 off per coin. I'm like, "Dude, I'll take them all." I just took every one of them.
Yeah, and that's the exact point I'm trying to make. And I said junk silver, but yeah, Seeker's right on a lot of those things. If they cannot pack it up and still make a profit margin for themselves, and it's the end of the coin show, you can get some things that you're not necessarily shopping for particularly, but is a good deal.
Right.
Before I say what I got to say, I think Louis Yance got something there.
$5 super chat.
There you go.
Jump back.
I wanted to add,
Louis. I appreciate that, my friend. Go ahead.
I wanted to add to, is it best to wait to the end of the show? Yes and no. It depends on who you shop with, because sometimes that dealer that wanted to offload his stuff already went to another dealer and sold it. And now that dealer's got it and he doesn't want to sell it. He wants to take it home.
Yeah.
So in some cases, and I've seen it happen where someone's walked up and they're like, "Oh, you got all that? You don't want to take it home?" And I'm like, "Dude, I just bought it. I'm taking it home unless you're going to give me this much for it."
Keith, it's funny you say that. You've been to more coin shows than I have, but I've been to a lot of coin shows. And one of the things that I've seen before just cracks me up is I watched, this was actually Mike. I watched Mike walk up to another dealer's table, buy something like a big lot of something from that dealer, and then walk across the floor and sell it for more to another dealer. He's just walking it, and he makes like $1,000. Like,
he does that all the time.
I just watch.
He does it all the time. He pays attention to what dealers want what, and they are giving him lists. He's that guy that'll sit there and make that $1,000 off you just because you don't want to or don't have the time to look around the show.
Right.
And he's already got this other guy says, "Hey, I'm looking to sell these. I want this for it." And then he's got this one guy over here says, "I'm looking for this. Let me know if you can find it for this $1." And he's like, "I think I know where I can get him for you at."
Right.
We go get him. Boom. $1,000.
Right. It's crazy.
So awesome.
It is. He's that guy that'll buy that other guy out and you won't get his stuff. He'll take it back with him.
Right.
I'm way behind on comments because I know Keith said something about David G, and I'm literally
It was Drake G. I
Drake G.
misread. Drake G said he was new to stacking. What's the most economical way to stack?
High,
Just
low,
bang for the buck
premium.
right now.
Keep your cost average as low as possible.
There you go.
Yep.
That should
All
help.
right, so France answered that question for him. Let's see here.
Sorry about that, Raven. I had misread it and I didn't correct myself.
It's all good. There's no worries, you know. We're all
I'm
friends
old. I
here.
can't see, especially after that trip. You notice I'm tired and my head's kind of tilting to the side a little bit.
I just thought you were having a stroke, but you know.
Yeah, I've had those. They're not fun.
Sam Wilson, can I attempt to sell 40 percenters as junk silver? If so, how much less value would they fetch compared to a 90 percenter? Rob, Seeker, anybody wants to answer it?
I've answered a lot. I'll let Robin Seeker.
I have never bought bulk 40 percenters for higher than melt. So I would say that you're probably going to get just under melt or at melt. There's not a big demand in my area. They're everywhere. So maybe everywhere is a little bit different, but you know, current melt value of a 40% Kennedy half dollar is $3.50, and you paid 50 cents for it. So you're still getting 7 times. I mean, if you found it, I'm sorry, if you found it. So you're still getting 7 times a finding fee for it. So, but I don't think you're going to get more than $3.50 on average at a dealer for them.
Nope. I give most of my 40% away, so I always pay under melt.
Me too.
And my 90% I pay over melt for.
Correct.
If a dealer comes up, oh, I go sell for less melt, I'm like, well, I don't want it. You know, it's just the way it is. It's the nature of the beast when it comes to silver.
I'll never turn down finding 140 percenters in a box because I just made a great profit. But those 40 percenters will be turned into something I stack more of.
Oh, I gotta try to get some more boxes.
All right, we got Lucky James Eller. What am I really looking for? I've never been to a coin show. I might be attending my first one this month. Rob, Raven, and Keith and Seeker. You know, James, I look for things that appeal to me, you know, and also things that I know that will appeal to the audience. But if you're going there as a collector / stacker, you'd want to do, you know, what makes you happy, what draws you to that coin or that round or the needs that you have. Maybe you need some 90% so that you have some stuff to the side just in case something happens. You want to do trades with silver. Rob?
I mean, I'm a collector first, so I'm always keeping updated digital programs on my phone or apps that tell me what I need to fill a hole and what grade it's in. So if I need a better, I don't know, 1932 Denver Washington quarter, I'm looking for a better one that upgrades my current one but is affordable. But I also like to collect some variety things, like I'm a Taurus, my sign, whatever. So I look for anything that has a Taurus logo or a bull on it. I have always enjoyed stacking silver rounds that have some kind of personal connection to me. So, I mean, that's what I do. If I'm not looking for anything super specific, I'm just looking for the best deal to add to my stack.
Yep. Keith?
Pretty well said it all. It's go in there with a list if possible, but most importantly, buy what you like. Just because it's on your list, don't buy it if you don't like it because you won't be happy with it.
Correct.
Yep.
Enough said on that one.
All right. Flag City says he cherry picked 23 Bugs Franklins from one dealer. Wow.
Those have come down in price lately, I've noticed.
Oh, they've gone way down on
Flag City. Did you got them at the fun show? See, having the time wanting to look, you know, don't always have the time if you're trying to do other stuff. There was a few people I just couldn't sit down and sit at one table very long.
You know, I bought a roll of 55Ps and it had 9 Bugses in the roll. It's funny how if you can get an uncirculated BU roll that hasn't been cherry picked, sometimes you can score 5 or 6 or 10 varieties in one roll.
Yep, because they're all, and especially at their original roll, because they're all from the same die.
Yep.
You know, die pairing. Bullion Renegade says, I use this Rob's same scope and it's freaking awesome.
It's cheap and it's plug and play and it's fine. So yeah.
I got one gifted to me from B3 and it is a big difference compared to the one I had. I have to agree with Rob.
What scope is it?
It's not the pluggables, but it's for the average coin collector for $30 to $40. You plug it in, it runs everything on its own, and it magnifies it to 250 times. You don't need that.
I have my Andon Star. I've had this for years, but that's probably the same thing or close to it.
It's similar, but yours is a lot more expensive because it has some other options, like a screen. Yours has a screen.
No,
right?
no, not the one I've used. Like this one right here.
Oh yeah, it's almost the exact same thing.
Yeah, I've had this one for 5 years.
And look at them, with all the fancy schmancy ones, we all use the basic ones because they're tried and true. They work just fine.
And you know what's funny? I never turned mine on. They have those little LED lights. They run 24 hours a day. No,
mine has been on 24/7 since I got it back in 2017, and it is still running. It's on. It's literally, look, it's ridiculous. Maybe you said that it's on. Mine has never been. I don't know if I can get this on camera. It's never off.
Yeah,
it's never off.
It's never off. Let's see here.
You work too much, Rob.
I know.
He's always
24/7. He's there.
As we're doing this chat, I'm still scoping coins. Just kidding.
The only thing I like about the scopes with the screens is that you can take them with you, to a show. Like this one, I have to plug up to a computer. Although I guess I could take my laptop, right? So,
yeah.
I took my laptop to the show and didn't even turn it on.
Yeah. Well, I believe it. You probably didn't know how to turn it on.
No, we were going to do something with Mike and Rob.
I was making fun of your age. It's all right.
Had an incident come up.
I'm just giving you trouble, Keith. It's more fun because you're really tired. So, like,
but I'm here.
Yeah, you are here.
I'm here. There was points. I'm not saying I was driving 90 miles an hour at points, but what I will tell you is the car behind me wasn't passing me, and he was probably going that fast.
Yeah, I'm not even going to lie. I drive a little bit too fast sometimes. I really do. Like,
well, most generally, I was a 68 mile an hour guy.
What's that, Rob?
If I had your car, I would be driving. I probably have tickets.
I have whiplash from your car. I still feel the pain.
Yeah, that was fun though.
Yeah, I bet it was.
Michael answered that for us, so that's very cool. Thanks, Michael.
Which one?
Oh, about if you're dissatisfied with something that was shipped to you and what to do with it.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
I'm a little behind actually on the questions.
You're fine. You're fine. We got 8 more minutes.
You know what? Tyler Rice said he wished he had enough silver to make a silver toilet. That would be something to see if you walked in someone's house and they literally had a pure silver toilet.
What would be funny if someone tried to pick it up and take it away?
You know where I want to go?
That.
You know where I want to go someday? The Silver Dollar Bar. You know what that is?
There was a $silver hop.
Yeah, in Vegas, it's got a bunch of different silver dollars in it. Yeah,
not just a bunch of different. Like I didn't think it was in Vegas. The one I'm thinking of.
There was
like literally their entire long bar, the whole top is all silver dollars.
Yeah. I thought they had a bar with a coin top in Carson City, Missouri.
That's the one.
That might be the one I'm thinking of because it was way closer than Vegas.
Yeah, Carson City, Missouri. I think it was on Route 66, if I'm not mistaken. Because when did I drive by? I think I drove by it when I was 21 on my way to Vegas.
Wow.
I wanted to go to Vegas.
They had Vegas then?
Yeah, they did.
There's also one in Wyoming.
Small, though.
It was small then.
Anyway.
That's funny. Dave Nelson's asking about what we think precious metal prices are going to do. We don't really do much in the way of speculation.
You did say that.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't try and predict what precious I don't try and predict what precious metals prices are going to do. I just talk about like the right reasons to stack. So
he's asking a question because your title says, "Is silver going to hit $30 soon?"
Is it? Who knows?
I think it could hit it in 2023. That's my answer to that.
Could it hit? Maybe, probably. Will it stay there? Who knows? And I could be wrong. I mean, that's just it. No one actually knows. Like all the market analysts that say that they know what silver is going to do, they're just guessing. I mean, you guess enough, eventually you're right, right? The clock's always right twice a day, right?
Yep.
A broken one, yeah.
Broken clock. Yeah, that's what I was getting at.
Yeah.
My clock's never right. It's always behind because it's old.
Yeah. Well,
Keith
you're
still
on a
has-
different clock, Keith.
when Keith's clock strikes noon or midnight, he has one of those little birds come out and says cuckoo. So you don't remember those old grandfather clocks that had
Of
the.
course, he
the birds?
remembers. He was there when it was invented.
I don't have a grandfather clock. I have a great grandfather clock.
I have a mini grandfather clock. You know those tabletop ones that are kind of big, but they're not.
No, mine's a great grandfather because it just goes to show you how old I am.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Silver Dollar City has an amusement.
Oh, I've been to Silver Dollar City. I mean, that's in Branson.
Yeah, that's
So Noah says,
I've never actually heard of Hard Times tokens. I have to look into
Really?
those. Yeah.
you never
Really?
heard of Hard Times tokens?
I've actually made
18
videos on those before.
Oh, I'm sorry,
I
Raven.
sell them every once in a while. You probably had them and not even realize it. A lot of them are the Hard Time tokens, or
Secret
they look
looks
like
like
regular pennies.
Having so much fun.
Army, navies, and stuff. Am I right, Rob? Is that about
Well,
right?
that's
Armies
yeah.
and
Those
navies.
I have some of the Civil War tokens and some of the Hard Times tokens. Matter of fact, if I had 5-10 minutes, I probably could show some on screen, but I don't feel like digging them out.
Hey, listen, if I don't know something, I don't lie and say, oh, yeah, I know that. Like, I've never heard of them. Like, that's just.
I was
My bad.
surprised.
Well, we can tell you're not a collector hardly. You're more of a stacker.
Keith
no,
was
no.
there.
No.
Keith was there for hard time tokens.
I was there when they
Yeah.
made them.
Chief, Seeker has never fallen under hard times. That's the difference.
Yeah, I
Oh,
believe
that.
that. No
Yeah.
hard time, so he doesn't have the token.
Yeah.
Yeah. Didn't know what it's like to have to fight for it. That's funny. Jam and Maki have been getting into and collecting Civil War tokens. Do many people collect them? Yeah. They have a really nice value. Rob?
Yeah, no,
collects
they have a
them?
lot of value, and you got and just because you own a certain one, like the Army, Navy, there's different die pairings that people also collect. So make sure you're familiarizing yourself with the different die pairings. That way, you can have the whole set of the Army, Navy. Forgot what they call them, whether it's the Cohen 1, 2, 3, or whatever they call those die pairings. But anyway, yeah, people do collect them. They're not worth a ton, by the way, unless they're really high grade, of course.
Yeah, there you go, Seeker.
Yeah.
That's your car, what it is.
It's not going to answer that.
All right. Hiram's twin tempted to grab an admittedly high mintage slabbed MS62 pre-33 at the same premium as Modern Sovereigns, hesitating because it's more than I plan to spend right now. Ugh. You know, you got to go with what you're comfortable with, you know. Seeker, what do you got to say?
Sorry, I just got a chat disconnected thing. Tempted to grab maybe I have managed slab no CDP, same previous Modern Sovereigns. Hate it. I mean, if you can get pre-33 for the same price per ounce, keep in mind, like a $20 gold piece doesn't have the same amount of gold as a 1 ounce gold eagle. But assuming you're getting it for the same price per ounce, I mean, I'd get the pre-33 every time.
Yep.
No brainer.
Yeah.
No brainer. For me, I was going to say no. I'm numismatic anyway, but no brainer for me if I get.
Well, yeah. I mean, no brainer.
If I can get a slabbed, higher graded, not cleaned pre-33 gold piece at the same price as modern day sovereign, I'm all over it.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, because that pre-33 is going to go up way more in value versus what that modern stuff's going to be. It's going to be a long time before you see a sovereign or anything modern that's really going to jump. I mean, there's one maybe here and there, but it's pretty rare.
You know what they say? We old things are worth collecting.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Manny C, off topic. What is your favorite hobby besides
Let me guess.
And
Oh,
I
dang
can-
it, Rob
I can-
already guessed what I was going to say.
Yes. Yes. For me, fishing. For Seeker, magic cards. For Rob, collecting other stuff
I
like
do collect this
baseball
stuff, but
cards and
gardening
comic
as
books
well. Gardening
and
as well.
gardening. Yep.
I would have said gardening for Rob because of Rob,
And-
backyard gardener.
And for Keith, I'm going to say polishing the wheels on his wheelchair.
No, it's not. Listen, be nice.
No.
Be nice. That's not. He's not that old. He's not in a wheelchair.
It's
But
napping.
he does like to keep the crank for his car, really pristine.
I like the nap. That was one thing I missed when we were in Florida. I did not get a nap the whole time we were there.
Oh my god! Oh
was
no!
rough.
I didn't get enough.
Oh,
I usually try to get a nap after work, an hour or so.
poor guy.
You know what they say, keeps your body somewhat healthy.
It does.
All right, we're gonna do one last question from Chad Cox. He's had some good ones tonight. He said, Rob and others, do y'all ever catch flack from the banks in which you get boxes of coins to hunt? Do they know what your intentions are with the boxes because you frequent them often? Rob and I have spoke about this at length together, and I'm gonna let Rob give his answer.
Every one of my banks that I deal with knows exactly what I do. I give back to them in some form or fashion by educating them on things that they have. I even ask sometimes if I could see what they have in the drawer that's odd and educate them on it, tell them values if I could. They all know what I'm not hiding anything. A couple of things going for me is I'm pretty outgoing. I take care of them by giving them goodies like gift cards on holidays. I know their birthdays and ask them if it's coming up. I do take care of my tellers as possible, but I also don't hide anything, and I'm very respectful. When they don't have boxes or they give me something new, I don't just give it right back. Oh, I don't want that. I also don't dump where I pick up, so I don't make it a double inconvenience for them. And finally, if a bank ever gives me flack, I just make them a dump bank because they can't stop the money from coming in, most likely. So because of all those options, they know what I do. I have a business account as well as all of my banks. It's easy for me. So yeah, I mean, I do lose relationships when there's been branch closures or branch turnovers where they've turned over 3 or 4 of the leaders and all of a sudden the new ones don't want to help out right away. I have to just wean them into doing it. But if you're upfront and honest, caring, and take care of people that take care of you, it's not that hard.
Seeker?
I mean, I'm kind of in the same boat. I only had one bank that ever gave me flack, and it wasn't until like 2 years later. And what had happened is a new branch manager came in. And even though the branch manager didn't have anything to do, because it was always the tellers and the assistant branch manager, they always took care of me. They were always super nice. And then this new branch manager come in and he just didn't like it. Like, it didn't matter that I had an account. It didn't matter that, I banked there. He just didn't like it. And so they jacked my fees up so much that I just went somewhere else. My fee to dump was they jacked it up to 10% just to dump the coins there. Like, that's like Coinstar level.
Mm-hmm.
That's with having a business account when that guy came in. So I just closed my account. I made him give me a cashier's check for the entire balance, and I just went elsewhere and opened a new account. I have multiple bank accounts, but that was the specific bank I was using for picking up, and I just went somewhere else. And or not for picking up, for dumping, and I just went somewhere else to do it.
Keith?
No problems. My banks are cool.
Yep.
I'm transparent, tell them what I'm doing, and everything's kosher.
I will say, Raven, really quick, it also depends on how you start. If you watch one of my videos, you bank, but you've never asked for coins, and then you walk in one day and ask for $50 boxes, that's going to be tough. If you're going to start off with a change order, have it written out already on a little card, and just walk in and play the part. Yeah, I got to get $5 in pennies, $10 in nickels, $50 in quarters, and $20 in dimes, and hand them the list and just give it to them. And you'll see 9 times out of 10, they'll just fulfill that order, and then start doing it every week at 2 or 3 different banks of your same branch type bank. And eventually they'll get used to you getting coins. And then you can up it up and say, yeah, I go to 4 different banks because I don't want to inconvenience you guys. But do you just do the whole, can I just get everything from you guys? And typically they start taking care of you because they've gotten to know you and you've been polite every time. And then that's how you build up being able to get to boxes. I mean, that's how I started with a lot of my banks for the first time.
Relationship building is the key. And here's one thing that you can tell: the 4 of us here are all very, very supportive of relationship building. And that's how we got to know one another. And that's how we can do the things we do, especially with a lot of banks. I live in a little bit smaller town and have had some competition with my, coin roll hunting experiences out here. So it's a little bit different experience for me. I haven't really gotten flack, but I've lost a couple places that I could get coins from simply because somebody went in there and said, well, I know Raven gets them from here. And, the bank manager says, hey, I'm in a spot that I can't really provide every single person that walks through the door. rolls of coinage for face value, because one of the things people don't understand is each box, $25 box of nickel or cents, or $100 box of nickels, there is a fee that the bank incurs by getting that sent to them from, Brinks or Loomis or,
Whoever.
exactly. And so when they're doing this for you, they're doing it as a favor. And that's why myself, Rob, Seeker, I'm sure Keith does it and sends in stuff, or gives them, some goodies and whatnot. And it's really key to just build those relationships. And a big thank you to Manny C for the $5 super chat. And
You rock, Manny C.
we're gonna get out of here before Seeker falls asleep on me.
Oh, I'm fine. I'm good.
All I know is I hear
It's
someone
Keith.
stacking slabs or something, and it's driving me bonkers.
That's Keith. It's okay.
It's driving me bonkers in a good way, because it sounds like he's stacking slabs.
Oh, no.
I'm
sorry. Like, I have I know it's not a real thing, but I have idle hand syndrome. I always have to be doing something. I've been playing with these all night.
What are
these?
those?
Are little 3D printed Silver Seeker tokens I've been sending
Oh, okay.
out.
Because I was like, it's not silver. It sounds like plastic. It sounds like something that is a little bit heavy, but also not silver.
Yeah, they're little 3D printed Silver Seeker tokens.
Nice. Got from on the trip.
I got the next time I go down to Rob's, I'm stopping by that place.
Bucky's.
Yeah, I still haven't done
fluffy beef jerky.
And we're having a Wiener Schnitzel fest.
If you go to buy the fudge, they'll get you. We had a sugar attack. They just, here, sample this one, sample this one, sample this one. We had to say, no, we don't want to sample any more fudge. We want this one. We don't want this one. It was crazy.
Seeker's chomping at the bit. What's up, Seeker?
No. I'm just trying not to play with them. Like, my hands always have to do something.
No, and here's the thing, guys. Again, please remember that when we tease one another, we're literally having fun. We don't mean anything by it.
I mean, well, except for like the dust comments about Keith. Outside of that, no.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So we're gonna wrap it up now. Seeker, what do you got to say? What do you got to plug? Let the people know.
Listen, guys, I just want to say thank you for being here and supporting my man Raven and down to Coin Crew and Mr. Rob down there. And looking forward to seeing you guys in a couple of weeks. And what is it on my channel? Is it on my channel in 2 weeks?
Yeah.
If it's in 2 weeks, which holidays are over, so we're hoping that we get back to a more regular schedule. Remember, all four of us have to be available, otherwise it doesn't happen. So even if three of us are, and there have been times where three of us were available and one isn't, like, oh, I guess we'll put it off a week. Hopefully, if it's in my channel in 2 weeks, though, I'll be at 100K at that point. So I'm right now.
You should be, yeah.
I'm at 1,086 to go right now.
Ooh.
So
there you go.
Closing in.
Do it.
And Coin Crew, what you got to say, my friend?
Guys, thanks for the Cayman. Thanks for coming. We really appreciate all the support. I personally appreciate you guys getting me to 10,000 subs, 1 million views. But now let's get Raven right up there to 10,000. I mean, he really deserves it. So, thanks everybody for all the support you give to all the channels. We really appreciate it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, my man, the myth, the legend, Rob Finds Treasure. What else you got to add before we get out of here?
Everyone said everything. We're past the hour. I had fun. It was fun hanging out once again. Good questions tonight. Always enjoy when we have good questions and a lot of fun sharing information with each other. And I do want to thank the moderators of Raven's channel, as well as those in the chat that thanked and answered a lot of the questions in the chat. Very helpful, because as you know, it's tough for me or Seeker or Coin Crew, or especially Raven, who's hosting, to even be able to pin all the questions on and answer them. So thank you, moderators, and everyone else in the chat. You guys have a great evening and a great week.
Very, very well said. Thank you to the mod. Thank you for everybody that isn't even a mod that did exactly what Rob said, because I did see that going on. Yeah. And it is hard. It is literally, I was probably 15 minutes behind on the questions, but we're going to wrap this up, my friends. Thank you, everybody, for being here tonight. Make sure to check out all the latest videos coming out from these fine gentlemen. Like always, make sure to take care of one another, and we'll see you real soon. Raven Hot Coins. Have a great day.